And we say, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with a video today. Actually, more of a reaction to a article that was recently put out. My computer's kind of weird. When you go to look at certain articles, I don't know what it is. It takes you to this website, MSN, Microsoft Start .com, and it pulls up the article there, but it still tells you where it's from. This is from Athlon Sports from Steve Lasson, posted yesterday at 11:01 a.m. The SEC football 2023 all conference team. I'm not going to put pictures up, for every single player, but we'll highlight some of the main characters of this offense, and but I am curious about it, so we'll probably try to read through all of this. But reading this article, it says the 2023 All SEC team is led by, and I'll put a link to this article in the video too. So the 2023 All SEC team is led by 15 selections from Georgia, with Alabama 12 up next. LSU, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Missouri each hit double-digit picks. LSU on the All SEC team for 23. I don't know what that last sentence was supposed to be in reference to, other than LSU. Really didn't make a whole lot of sense there. But Athlon Sports, I guess, recently released their magazine for the 2023 college football preview. And with that, they have, I think they did it for each conference, but we're at least going to look at the SEC today. First team offense right out the gate, guys that stick out to me, number one on the list is quarterback KJ Jefferson of Arkansas. He's a very talented quarterback. I think he's got a good build. I think he's got a strong arm too. I think that he's proven to be mobile at times. I think that he doesn't look fit to be a mobile quarterback, but he definitely has the arm talent to get there and throw the football around on the next level. And he probably could be, if he improves greatly this year in the 2024 draft, you'll hear his name called probably on day 2. I don't know about day 1 yet, but maybe he could be starting for some NFL team someday. I think it's a good possibility. Up next, the running backs that go alongside KJ Jefferson, and again, we're building like an all-conference SEC team. This is from an article. This is not my team. Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss. I know our buddy Mayhem Matthew on the Touchdown Tuesday show has talked about him and how high he is on him being a running back this year for the Ole Miss Rebels. I think Matthew's really high on Ole Miss this year in general too. Talking to him. Raheem Sanders, you go back to Arkansas, you got Rocket Sanders. They call him a rocket. He's incredible. So he he had good stats last year. By the way, go back to Quinshon Judkins. I got his stats pulled up, and I apologize. Quinshon Judkins finished 7th in yardage and 8th in carries. 274 carries, over 1,000 yards. Tied 10th for touchdowns in 2022 at 16. He's a freshman running back. He'll be a sophomore this year. And he's actually from Pike Road, Alabama. I had no idea he was a Alabama player, native at least. And it's cool to see him on Ole Miss. I think that done pretty good. Even in their last 4 losses, he had 135 yards against Alabama. Ole Miss lost the last 4 games of the season, one of them being to Alabama. He had 134 yards. So, and then in Arkansas's game, even though it was a blowout, he still managed to put up 214 yards there. So I do not blame him for putting him as the running back in this group. let's kind of, here's what I'll do the rest of this video. I'll read these off, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Would you agree with the list? So let's go back to the top. The all SEC team quarterback is KJ Jefferson. Then you got Quinshon Judkins, the Ole Miss running back. You got Rocket Sanders from Arkansas. An all-purpose player in Ainias Smith, which you could use at running back, tight end, wide receiver. Ainias Smith from Texas A&M. I've seen him hit hard. He's a beast. Juice Wells from South Carolina. Evan Stewart and Malik Neighbors are your wide receivers. South Carolina, Juice Wells, Evan Stewart of A&M, Malik Neighbors of LSU. Tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia. Okay. Remember, he's not going pro. He's coming back. I think it's his senior year this year. He decides to come back and be a part of what could possibly be a three-peat for Georgia. He's on the team at tight end. I would say he's probably not even the best in the SEC, but probably the best tight end in college football. He's just hard-hitting. He's fast. He's electrifying to watch. You give him a lot of credit there. At center, I would go, or they would go. This isn't my list. Cedric Van Pran from Georgia. They got Javon Foster on the offensive line from Missouri. Bo Limmer from Arkansas. J.C. Latham, my guy, from Alabama. And then Will Campbell of LSU. I think especially, that's a strong team right there. Cedric Van Pran, especially with Van Pran, Latham, and then Will Campbell of LSU. Will Campbell's pretty big too. So that's the first team offense. Now we look at the first team defense for the SEC. First thing I notice right out the gate, they have 2 Alabama players, they have 3 Georgia, they have 3 LSU. The top 3 teams in the SEC, put them in whatever order going into the season. That's what stands out to me. From LSU, they got Mekhi Wingo on the defensive line. They got Mason Smith. And they got the linebacker Harold Perkins Jr., who I think could be one of the best in college football this year. From Georgia, they got Mykel Williams on the defensive line. They got Jamon Dumas Johnson at linebacker. And they got Malachi Starks, former 5-star, at safety position. Go to Alabama here. Jaheim Otis, Kool-Aid McKinstry. And then other teams in there are Mississippi State with 1 player and Nathaniel Watson at linebacker. You have Missouri with Tyron Hopper at linebacker and Damani Richardson of Texas A&M at safety. So that's the first team defense. And again, if you want to read all this kind of in context of how they put it, I'm just kind of taking it, using it, but kind of putting it in my own words, putting my little spin on it, and all of that. I'll put a link to the article in the video description. First team special teams, kicker Will Reichard from Alabama. He's a 5th-year senior this year, coming back for his 5th year. A couple years ago in 2020, he didn't miss at all. He was perfect on PATs, and I think his longest was like 53 yards or something like that. Kai Kroger of South Carolina is the punter. They would go for kick return Lydetrick Griffin of Mississippi State. I don't think that name sounds familiar to me, but maybe if there's any Mississippi State people out there, you can let me know about him. Punt return Kool-Aid McKinstry. I like it. He's got blazing fast speed. He can get the ball downfield. I love that for Kool-Aid McKinstry. You could go a couple different ways there. I'm sure like a guy like Malachi Starks maybe. I think he's fast from Georgia. He could be a punt returner too. But they got Kool-Aid McKinstry in there. They don't have him on the defense, but they at least got him on special teams for Alabama. And it goes down the list with the second team offense, second team, third team, fourth team. So there's like 4 different teams for offense, defense, and special teams. But we at least wanted to look at the first team, offense, defense, and special teams. Um, Once you get into the second team offense, you get to the Jace McClellans of Alabama, the Will Rogers, the Brew McCoys, the Dominic Lovicks, Lad McConkey, Jarquez Hunter is on there from Auburn. Tyler Booker from Alabama, Xavier Truss on the O line for Georgia. You get to the second team defense. Got some Missouri players: Darius Robinson, Nazir Stackhouse of Georgia, Jet Johnson. Oh, that's a cool name, Jet. Jet Johnson of Mississippi State at linebacker. They got my boy Dallas Turner from Alabama on the second team defense too. So there's a couple key players on there. Again, if you would like to read all of this, I'm not going to go through every single player because it is kind of long and it would make for a longer video. But if you would like to read this article, click the video description. I'll put a link in there and you could go check it out. I love you guys. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new for more sports content here at Ballard Sports Media. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs. I know we can do it, and it'll get here before we know it, man. Let's just keep building, keep grinding, and putting out great content. We can do it. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. God bless. And I'll say this as an Alabama fan. Roll Tide. Ballard Sports Media. Checking out. I love you guys.